They seem deep. Their words are heavy with meaning. They speak about the universe, about pain, about beauty, and you feel seen in a way you've been starving for. But here's the question. Are you connecting with them? Or with the picture they are painting? Because not everything that feels deep is real depth. Sometimes what looks like depth is just performance. Is the poetry without the practice, the language of intimacy without the risk of it. You meet someone and they tell you their wounds like a story, not because they trust you, but because it makes them appear vulnerable. You fall for it because you're longing for that rare connection, and their way of speaking bypasses your guard. You think finally, someone who understands. But what if what they're giving you isn't connection? It's curation. Real depth isn't just words. It's action. It's consistency. It's the courage to be unpolished in front of you. And that's the part most people skip. Because it's easier to talk about truth than to live it. It's easier to perform emotional intelligence than to do the work it demands. Examples. They talk endlessly about honesty, but avoid telling you how they really feel about you. They can discuss spiritual growth for hours, but explode at the smallest personal trigger. They make grand gestures in the beginning, but disappear when the relationship needs maintenance. They use deep quotes like currency, but never ask you the questions that would actually open you up. Why it's hard to see? If you grew up in a world where real depth was rare, you learn to cling to anything that looks like it. You were trained to take crumbs as a fast. And if you carry unmet needs for validation, you'll be more sensitive to surface-level performances of connection. You'll confuse being impressed with being loved. Guidance. So how do you tell the difference? You slow down. Depth reveals itself over time. Anyone can sound profound for an hour, but can they show up for the unglamorous parts of life? Ask yourself, do their actions match their words? Even when no one's watching? Do they listen as much as they speak? Do they make space for your truth, not just their performance of theirs? If the answer is no, what you're looking at might be a beautiful disguise. Practical ways to spot real depth. First, watch for consistency. True depth doesn't vanish when things get hard. It shows up even in discomfort. Second, test with silence. Real depth can sit in quiet with you without rushing to fill it. Performance needs constant validation to survive. 3. Look for humility. Someone who is truly deep knows they are still learning. They don't need to win every conversation. The trap of false depth. False depth is intoxicating. It gives you the high of intimacy without the work of building it. And when it falls apart, you're left confused because you thought you had something rare. But the truth is, you were connecting to an image, not a person willing to meet you in the raw and the real. Real depth isn't loud. It doesn't need to announce itself. It reveals itself in how someone treats you when the lights are off, when they're tired, when there's nothing to gain. So next time you feel pulled towards someone's intensity, ask yourself, is the connection growing roots, or is it just a beautiful disguise? But you deserve depth that's lived, not just depth that's performed.